Now at 11, an outbreak of wildfires spreading across Oregon with some forcing evacuations.
At least focusing on those areas that are closest to communities.
Plus, as Portland City Council considers a proposal to help clean up a historic district, some are speaking out in opposition.
I don't see how you can ask businesses who are struggling for more money.
And the city of Portland makes a world record attempt and smashes the previous record.
And really just this feeling of joy and happiness with Portlanders enjoying our city.
Our top story tonight, an update on the wildfires ripping across Central Oregon. Thanks so much for joining us here at 11. I'm John Adams. Our Jake Holter spoke to some of the folks on the ground and brings us an update.
A somewhat unprecedented deployment of Oregon Forestry's last complex incident management team as these fires just continue to grow. Fires ravaging the Central Oregon landscape. Last week's lightning storms sparking more than 85 fires. And this summer's extra dry conditions inviting rapid growth for these blazes.
Everybody knows we had a really light winter this year. And with that, we're seeing fuel levels that are a couple months ahead of maybe where they should be.
We were anticipating these conditions. We're not enjoying these conditions by any means, so that we could prepare all we wanted, but that it is pretty tough out there at the moment.
Whitney Taylor was deployed with Complex Incident Management Team 2 on Friday and shares what she's seen with the Akawa Butte, Brewer, and Pilot fires.
So far, we have seen extreme fire behavior on all three fires. They're wind-driven fires. It's hot, it's dry, it's windy. It is abnormally hot for this time of year, and so we are seeing conditions that we typically see in September. And we are also experiencing limited resources.
The smaller 120-acre Pilot fire is 20% contained, but still no containment on the 7,000-acre Akawa Butte fire or the rapidly growing 18,000-acre Brewer fire. The Brewer fire prompting the deployment of Complex Incident Management Team 3.
We're trying to bring in as much heavy equipment, as much aviation, as many hand crews as we can to get around this fire and try to hold it in its current footprint, keep it as small as we can.
The fires also prompting Oregon Emergency Management to activate the State Emergency Coordination Center.
It allows us to improve information sharing, monitor conditions, coordinate resources as resource needs arrive, and support those local emergency managers at the county, city, and tribal level to respond to the fire activity as that continues across the state.
And evacuation orders are in effect for some of these fires, so officials say it is critically important to stay up to date with what your local safety leaders are posting as these fires continue to rage. Jake Holter, KGW News.
Corey Johnson is joining us now with a look at the weather. And Corey, with these fires, air quality must be a concern for some out there.
It certainly is, John, specifically those in eastern Oregon where we do have an air quality alert that's in effect until noon on Monday. It's not impacting Portland or the Southwest Washington area, but it doesn't mean that we couldn't see a little bit of haze later in the week, specifically on Tuesday and Wednesday where it will be the hottest. Taking a look outside this evening, our downtown Portland camera, a gorgeous view sitting in the low 70s, a little bit of cloud cover out there as well. Our temperatures right now, low 70s, upper 60s across the board, 71 in Scappoose, looks like 72 in Vancouver right now, 67 in Battleground. Our Visit Seaside camera, not only low hanging clouds, but we also have some coastal fog this evening out there too, 55 degrees, so sitting a little bit cooler near the coast. We are going to pop into the low 60s for our lows tonight overall, but it's going to be a warm Monday throughout and rest of the week as well. This is a sneak peek at your 7-day forecast. 90 tomorrow, 95 Tuesday and Wednesday. We have more on the extreme heat coming in just a second.
All right, definitely a toasty start to the week. Thanks, Corey. New at 11, Portland police are investigating a deadly crash involving a motorcyclist in the Concordia neighborhood. Police responded to reports of a crash on Northeast 33rd Avenue, the overpass there to Northwest Columbia Boulevard. Paramedics pronounced the motorcyclist dead at the scene. Police did not specify if another vehicle was involved. The Bureau does ask anyone with information to share should reach out to them. To a developing story now out of Cowlitz County, where police are now asking for help identifying a person's body. It's after someone reported seeing the body entangled in brush along the Cowlitz riverbank back in late May. The county's dive team recovered the body of a woman around 40 to 50 years old. An autopsy was not able to confirm her identity, and so police are sharing these photos of jewelry she was wearing when she was recovered. If you have any information to share, reach out to Kelso Police. And out along the gorge, first responders were called to a popular kiteboarding area after a person collided with a log. It happened yesterday around 8:30 at the Lyle Sandbar on the Washington side. First responders had to get to the person from Highway 14 on foot before loading him onto a stretcher. Well, this past week, a Portland city councilor heard feedback, including plenty of criticism over plans to create a new enhanced service district in an area of the Parkrose district. It would cover the area along and north of Sandy Boulevard, the main business section of the district. How it would work is these building and business owners would pay a new annual fee, which would go towards various programs like street cleaning, extra public safety resources, or anything that the ESD's board decides is relevant for that area. During Councilor Loretta Smith's monthly Coffee with a Cop event, most people spoke out against that proposal.
Why is the footprint for this ESD only so big when all the same problems occur in the whole Parkrose neighborhood?
Not everybody wants help, and now we don't have them here. But you have other people that want to gouge business owners who are struggling already as it is. You're forcing us out.
I'm not a public speaker. This is uncomfortable for me, but it's important that this ESD does not go through.
Councilor Smith and Portland city staff did respond to some of the concerns during that session.
Certain criteria on how you assess properties in single-family homes that are owner-occupied can't be assessed. So that's why it doesn't go farther south, is because you would end up including properties that aren't financially contributing to the services, but the services would have to be spread throughout that entire area, and so you would be getting less service ultimately, and it would all be paid for by these properties up here.
During city council discussion over the ESD on Wednesday, councilors decided to postpone a decision until a later date. Well, check this out. More than 1,000 cyclists in downtown Portland broke a Guinness World Record this morning for the largest electric bicycle ride. The exact number that took part, 1,060, which more than doubled Seattle's previous record of 405 e-bikes. Libby Dowsett was there as cyclists also celebrated Bike Town's 10th anniversary.
These riders showed up early, and that's good because the lineup for this ride stretched from the fountain here all the way down Nato to Burnside.
Wonder Woman, Superman, and hundreds of other bicyclists lined up for 11 blocks along Portland's waterfront as they waited for Sunday's record-breaking ride to begin.
They told us to wear costumes, so we're here.
The Portland Bureau of Transportation says the crowd was larger than expected, so it took some extra time to verify riders.
We had additional checks here on site with QR codes, counting the bikes, counting the smiles, counting the Portlanders, setting this Guinness World Records title.
Young and old taking off for what organizers called a slow and celebratory 2-mile ride. Down the waterfront, over the Hawthorne Bridge, and back over Tillicum Crossing.
I used to ride MS 150 in Houston to Austin years ago, so yeah, this is fun.
Some riders crossing the finish line while others were just getting started.
You could look back and see hundreds of bikes crossing the Tillicum, and really just this feeling of joy and happiness with Portlanders enjoying our city.
Even the geese showing interest as these riders rolled toward the new world record and also celebrated 3.9 million Bike Town rides in 10 years.
It's just a beautiful day to be out here riding our bikes.
In downtown Portland, Libby Dowsett, KGW News.
And new at 11 tonight, if it wasn't Pride or that e-bike ride that brought people outside today, it was, of course, the Cats. Today, Cats of Sunnyside held its 5th ever community catwalk. It's a neighborhood walk laid out so people can be on the lookout for and sometimes even pet the local cats along the pre-planned route. And of course, people were encouraged to bring their own feline friends along. This event has continued to grow since the first catwalk happened back in August.
I'm amazed at how many people actually came out. I thought there'd be like 15, 20 people out here, and to see this many people that interested in cats, it makes my heart very happy. Absolutely.
That shouldn't be a surprise to see all those folks out there. This event also partially a fundraiser for the local cat shelter, House of Dreams.